I like to talk about exercise. I like to talk about supplements to aid in your exercise. I also like to talk about relaxation and sleep and making sure that you are the optimal human being you can possibly be. But let's talk about not just exercise. Let's just not talk about how you spend your off exercise hours. Let's talk about exercise timing, because apparently there is this magical 3-hour window linked to the lowest risk of heart disease and stroke. So when exactly are you achieving maximal health benefits when it comes to your exercise routine? Let's take a look. Most people know that exercise, especially a combination of cardio and strength training, is good for your heart. Well, big shock on that one, huh? But a major study tracking over 85,000 adults suggests that it's not just what you do in the gym, it's when you do it that counts. A study published in the European Journal of Preventative Cardiology found that people who worked out either early or late in the morning had 11 and 16% lower risk, respectively, of heart disease and stroke than those who didn't lace up their sneakers until the afternoon. Okay, so getting out there when the sun first breaks the horizon is going to end up yielding better results for you. Specifically, researchers identified 8 to 11 a.m. as the ideal sweet spots for exercise, at least when it comes to heart health. Women in particular saw the strongest benefit, as those who hit the gym in the late morning had a 35% lower risk of stroke, 24% a lower risk of coronary artery disease compared to their afternoon counterparts. That's just simply crazy. I wonder what else factors into this. It is well established that exercise is good for heart health, and our study now indicates that morning activity seems to be the most beneficial. Lead author Gali Albelak, the PhD candidate at Leiden University Medical Center in the Netherlands. The findings were particularly pronounced in women and applied to both early birds and night owls. This was an observational study, and therefore we cannot explain why the associations were more marked in women. Yeah, no, that's interesting, but then also why the timing works out like this. Previous research shows that while night owls may be smarter than early birds, they are also at a greater risk of depression, anxiety, as well as diabetes. Yeah, we also talked about that, but that was a little while back. That's mostly due to societal constraints, but if it is something that resonates with you, outside of just, not being exposed, talking about night owls here, to, the regular amount of sunshine that your body requires, that could be the one thing that throws you out of whack, but outside of that, it's just simply operating appropriately, or at least perceived to be operating appropriately in society, that could lead to those downstream mental health effects. And then also, poor eating and dietary choices that'll lead you to the beatus. While findings suggest that syncing your workouts with your body's internal clock, a concept well known as chronoactivity, might give your heart an extra boost regardless of your chronotype. Okay, before dawn, boot campers rejoice. It's worth noting the science is debatable on this one. 2023 study found that exercising in the afternoon, specifically between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m., reduced the risk of heart disease more than in the morning or evening, especially for men and the elderly. 2024 study suggests working out at night could help you live longer all around. So experts do agree, however, that any exercise is better than no exercise, and consistency, once again, is king. Generally, the best time to exercise when you feel the most energetic and can maintain consistency. And as somebody who, I've kind of gone to school to figure this stuff out, okay, exercise physiologist after all, I know what goes into, having a successful workout. I know what ends up, generally speaking, contributes to a positive recuperation period. So if you just go ahead and marry all of those concepts up, you're going to go ahead and live a much longer and healthier life. And ultimately, it shakes out to whatever works out for your lifestyle. If you want to get up first thing in the morning before work, go ahead and hit the head and get it out of your way. Or if you're somebody who just finds it to be far more sociable, far more engaging, something that you can do to just go ahead and ease yourself into a nice and relaxing evening, go after work. It really doesn't much matter, but as long as you're out there getting your steps in, that's really all that matters. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.